the top because we have a special guest joining us this week's Beard Brothers Big Dog of the Valley winner on the football side of things, and Beaver Local's quarterback, Austin Cline. Austin, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Man, before we kind of talk about this season and your career, what's it mean to you that you get this big dog win and the community of Beaver Local kind of stepped up and voted you the top? In a week, they got a lot of votes for football. You guys were able to vote yourself to the top of that list.
I think it shows how much as like a community we come together and support each other.
Austin, looking at this season, I mean, you guys start off the season two tough teams, and you have your struggles, but I think you guys learned a lot about yourself, and the growth we've seen in the previous six straight victories for you guys has really shown a lot, and you've been a huge part of that reason why you've gotten a big dog honors. Now, talk to me a little bit about when that change kind of started. Obviously, you had some tough competition in the first 2 weeks, but still, you guys figured something out, and what clicked? Was it anything on your side? Did you find yourself clicking with your receivers more as the season went along?
I think like after the first two games, we started to realize like what we can be after the two tough losses, and we sort of clicked a little bit. We started on offense. We started picking it up more. We started giving more in practice. We started realizing what we can do, and that kind of helped the 6-game win streak.
In that 6-game win streak, East Liverpool, you guys beat them 48-0, and I know this was a big win. It's a big rivalry. They beat you guys last year. How much did that game propel and wind into your sails for the rest of this win streak?
Yeah, it gave us a lot of momentum because beating your rival always gives you that pump in practice and all around team.
Looking at the games you've played this year, with the exception of Edison in the last 6 victories, you guys have scored over 40 points per game. So obviously something on offense is working and it's definitely clicking. Talking about going from last year's team until this year's team, I think you're definitely seeing the improvements in the offense. And that, was there stuff you were working on in the offseason, whether it be like certain workouts that you were doing to try to maybe improve strength, or was there certain drills that you were really using in the offseason to try to help you with this progression?
In the offseason, I was mostly trying to, like learn the playbook and make sure that I know what my keys and what I need to do. And yeah, as a team, we lifted during the summer and stuff to get us stronger and ready for the season.
One of the things that I think is cool about the Beaver Local football team and really the Beaver Local athletics, they have this kind of chip on their shoulder where they always think they're the underdogs, even if they're not, like on paper. Do you think that this football team embodies that and always kind of feels like they have something to prove every time they go out on the football field?
Yeah, every time we go on the field, we want to prove something. We want to show what we can do and make sure we give it our all every play. Make sure we hit people.
Right.
Talking about the Beaver Local community too, because now that is 2 victors in the Beaver Local community for Big Dogs, both in volleyball and in football. So we have no doubt that you guys have a strong community and a strong group of people that back you guys. What does that mean to you? And going from COVID year to this year, having all these fans back in stands, talk to me a little bit about what that means to you as an athlete when you look up at the stands and see packed houses and see all this community support you every Friday night.
Yeah, it gives us a boost of momentum when we're out there, and there's just fans rolling in, and there's a lot of hype and cheer everywhere. It definitely motivates us and gives us a boost in how we play.
Talk about this coaching staff and Coach McKenzie and what kind of things they bring to the field. And we get to see him on the sidelines every Friday night. Tell us something that maybe about Coach McKenzie that we don't get to see, maybe in practices or off the field that people out there should know.
Coach McKenzie's he can be a funny guy at times. he has a pretty good personality. I mean, he pushes us in practice as hard as he can. I think we have a really good coaching staff.
On that coaching staff and some of the influencers that have been on your journey along the way with your career at this point, about some of those big influences that have had that impact on his way to high school.
Can you repeat that? I didn't. It's a little.
No, you're okay. I saw you were lagging a little bit. The question was, who are your biggest influences on your career in football?
I think my dad. He pushes me a lot when it comes to sports and stuff. He gives me a lot of motivation because he's always pushing me to do my best. And also Tanner Johnson from last year. He was a good guy to look up to for my freshman year. So.
You guys got your first Buckeye 8 Conference championship of the program last week, and I saw you douse Coach McKenzie after the game. And what does that mean for your program and this team to kind of get that under their belt and be able to say that they kind of made history at Beaver Local?
Yeah, that was our motivation going into the game. We wanted to make history and stuff. So it was a great feeling that we got to splash Coach McKenzie after the game, and it was great to be the first team to ever do that.
A follow-up, because after a big win like that, how do you guys kind of stay even this week and make sure that you don't get too high off the win last week and stay focused for this week's matchup?
We got to make sure that we don't get complacent and that we are focused more on week by week. Like, we're not 6-2, we're 0-0 right now for this week. We got to be 1-0 at the end of the week. So that's –
I like that mentality a lot, Austin. And talking about that too, I mean, it's one of those. I mean, you say all the right answers. It seems like you guys have high football IQ, and you yourself have a high football IQ for being so young. Sophomore season, you said too. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks and a lot of players starting out in their sophomore year around the area, and a lot of coaches think it gives them a leg up as they go on throughout their career. Talk to me a little bit about from week one all the way until now towards the tail end of the season, the growth you've seen in yourself, maybe not just on the football field, but maybe mentally. Are the nerves as strong as they were week one, or you feel like you're settling into this position now?
I think week one I was real nervous on the first play, but it kind of settled out since it was a first play touchdown for us. But I think that throughout the season I've more developed and matured into the position, and I've went over my progressions a lot better, and it kind of helps through practice.
There's no way to be a quarterback without being a leader. You have to be able to lead the team on the field. What's that kind of been like for you to kind of step into this leadership position, having to get the players in the right position, having to get them hyped up in the huddle, and being a leader on the field and kind of being the guy that kind of makes sure this team is in the right positions?
Well, I think it's I feel like I'm a natural leader. It's definitely hard being a sophomore to try and lead seniors and juniors that are on the field, but I think that I'm more of a natural when I'm on the field guy. I'm trying to get everyone hyped and ready to play.
Talking about this, and it seems like, I mean, for being a sophomore, and we talk about throughout the whole year, you guys are constantly getting better, and that comes obviously with taking criticisms and being able to register it and improve yourself and improve your game week to week. Talking about the criticisms a little bit more, what is one criticism or maybe one thing that a coach told you maybe earlier in your playing career that you didn't necessarily think about back then, but you're thinking about now and realizing maybe I should have done that or maybe I shouldn't have done that? I
think back then they always talked to me because I used to be a running back down in Bantam year and stuff. But when they transferred me to QB, it was more of footwork stuff. Like Coach McKenzie talks to me about all the time. I get criticized on it all the time. I gotta work on that. So I take that into consideration during the game and stuff.
We're talking about your athletic ability and your football, but you're also a student, of course, at Beaver Local High School. What are some of your favorite classes that you're taking right now?
My favorite class is probably AP Lit with my teacher, Miss McNally. She's one of my favorite teachers. I like that class. Sounds
like you might be having to get to class.
Yeah.
Do you have to go? Is that your bell?
No.
Okay.
My bell to go to lunch. I was in study hall.
All right, you're good.
All right. As we wrap up this interview and we get to the final questions. Anyhow, one of my final questions for you, just looking at your career too. I mean, still an underclassman, you got a lot to go in Beaver Local. What are some things you're looking to accomplish in your high school career, whether that be academically, whether that be on the football field or any other sport? What are some things you want to accomplish with your years remaining at Beaver Local?
I wanna continue to get better as I continue on, and I wanna win the Buckeye 8 every year that I'm here. Make sure that I lead this team to as far as I can go. And academically, I want to maintain my 4.0 GPA and stuff like that, and keep doing good in school.
There we go. I got him to say it. I wanted him to be the one to say it too. I had a little tip off from earlier shows that this might be the case. So of course we know that's impressive too, that you're able to do such be so successful not only on the football field but also in the classroom. And we obviously here at YSN respect the student athlete of the game.
Right. Okay. So 4.0, I have to ask, because that takes a lot of time management skills. How early in your schooling career did you kind of nail time management, or have you always been someone that kind of is good at it? Because I'll tell you, if I had to be a high school student and a football player and do all the things, like, I don't think I'd be able to do a 4.0 GPA.
It's somewhat natural. I mean, I'm gifted in a decent amount, but my parents push me a lot. Like when I get home from practice, they always make sure that I'm doing my homework and get all my stuff done.
What kind of thing gives you that drive, though? I mean, I imagine there has to be a passion for, not just football, but schoolwork and making sure your work gets done. What kind of gives you that drive to make sure that you keep going? I'm sure there are days when you're kind of, overwhelmed, or you feel like, man, why am I doing this? So what kind of gives you that drive to get past those times?
Well, I really want to go to college, not only for sports, but academically, make sure I earn that too. So earning my way into college is kind of what drives me, because I like earning what I get.
As there's no doubt this is going to be a great matchup with you guys too. Week 9, you're going to be last home game of the season versus Martin's Ferry. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing you guys. So my last thing I want to do for you is kind of give you the time to call out the Beaver Local faithful. Tell them how much you want that packed house for the last home game of the regular season.
Yeah, let's get it hype out there. Let's have a sold out stadium. Let's get ready to beat Martin's Ferry.
Austin, congratulations on winning Baird Brothers Big Dog of the Valley this week and everything that you've accomplished. Good luck to tomorrow night and the rest of the season, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again real soon because you're just a sophomore.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that was Austin Cline, the quarterback and really a great student over at Beaver Local that won